welcome to the channel. It's Rad, and in this live stream, what I'm going to discuss and do with you, that is going to be the transit of Venus. So Venus is entering Gemini at the 4th of July, 11:31 a.m. That is Eastern Standard Time. And is going to stay there all the way up until 30th of July, almost midnight, as it's going to enter Cancer at that point. So the subject of tonight's live stream is going to be the influence of Venus as it passes through Gemini. I'm sorry, as it passes through Gemini and it reaches the threshold of Cancer. And the first thing that I'm going to do, that this is going to be the collective reading. Just give me a second here. Okay. So the collective reading, the cards for it I drew a few hours ago. You can examine them for yourself though, if you so wish, from the thumbnail. I'm going to show them in any case. And the first one that I drew, that is a Page of Wands. The second card which I drew, that is a Two of Swords. And the third one that came up, it is the Strength. Those three cards. And so Venus are going to put a lot of dynamic into our day-to-day routine. And this dynamic is going to manifest through a lot of new experiences that we can participate into. So many new people that we can interact with, for example, so many new enterprises that we can, go forth with, try out, examine, explore, in any way take a participation into them. With one caveat though, that they are going to be very personal, meaning that we can't bring other people into it. So what we can take from that is that probably this dynamic will take place where our hobbies lies, because they are very personal to us, where our personal projects lies as well, and so on and so forth. And through that dynamic, through these experiences, we're going to come up with few solutions, for lack of better expression here, that concerns dilemmas which we are facing currently. For some could be big dilemmas, for others could be not that big ones, but those dilemma, okay, conundrums, those conundrums which we are unable to find a solution to through that dynamic, which are going to be exerted into our lives thanks to the Venus influence, are going to give us the most workable solution, if I may put it that way. And once we implement it, then some kind of a long-term goal is going to form for us. And this is where the choice really is going to be, whether we are going to follow and try to manifest that goal, or whether we are going to let it slip. That is going to be entirely up for us to decide. Another thing in this period of time, as far as the pressure of Venus goes over us, is that somehow we are always going to be able to tame people around. When we are in a situation with others being involved, it does look like that everyone, that includes us in it, but everyone is going to be able to adopt I would say, the adequate behavior toward the rest, toward the others. And this is going to allow us to go through our situations and our enterprises within the next 25 days, more or less, with as less conflicts as possible, or provoking as less conflicts as possible, say with friends, say with colleagues, say with spouses as well. And the big lesson that we need to learn, and that we are going to learn from Venus in Gemini, is that at the end of the day, it all comes to personal strength and personal capability, because we alone, only we alone, can put a resolution or reach a resolution to that conundrum that we are facing. And despite, the attempts to get any help, to seek any advice, none of it is going to work. Only what we will be able to come up with, only this is what's going to work. And so that is going to make us remind ourselves how strong we are on our own accord, and that in the most dire need and in the most dire situations, even if there is none around us to lift some burden of ours or to help us in any way, we still can prevail in those situations. So the influence of Venus is going to be very strong, pushing us to, like I said, experience and solve matters around without relying on anyone else's help. And as a consequence of that, we will be able to pinpoint some kind of a long-term goal that it is also going to be very personal and only for us to develop. Hello, Amelia. Welcome to the stream. And so that was the collective reading. A few notes about the show before I move forward is that there are going to be 12 more readings just like this one. And I'm going to run down the ecliptic, meaning that I'm going to start with Aries and I'm going to end up with Pisces. Bear in mind that these are generalized readings, but if you do wish to have a personal one, you can always go to my website, which link you can find in the description down below. And there at the very front page, you can see a full list of my services and also their pricing. Other than that, if you happen to enjoy the show, you can subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Leave a like, comment on the video as well. That is if you feel so. If you think that is going to be helpful to someone you know, you can share it with them as well. And if you do wish to support the stream financially, you can do so using Super Chat or a PayPal. And the PayPal link you're going to find as well in the description down below. And anyone who does so, you guys are going to, and girls, you're going to have a reading at the end of the stream. Just like Yasmin did. Yasmin, thank you for the 2 donations of a $20. Thank you, Yasmin. One of them, one is for you, a reading for you, and the other one, as per your request, is for Kenny. So at the end of the stream, you and Kenny are going to have personalized reading, how Venus is going to affect each one of you, and one is going to bring to you as an event, something that will going to happen to you. Okay, so with that being said, the first star sign that I'm going to read for, this is going to be Aries, and you can keep up with what star I'm reading for through the glyph being displayed there. So if you're watching it on a video, not on a live stream, then you can just skim ahead and find your star sign and listen to the reading there. So as I said, first one, that will be Aries. The first card for Aries, that will be King of Pentacles, followed by Page of Pentacles. And the last one, that will be Knight of Cups. So we do have those 3 cards. And Venus will bring true value for you, or I would rather say you are going to be properly valued, your work is going to be properly valued, your virtues are going to be properly valued, and based on that value that is going to be placed on either you or your work, what you possess, you will get some kind of an, I do believe that is going to be some kind of an offer of an investment. There will be either a person or organization that we want to invest in you and earn some yields from what you are developing right now or from you personally, and the earnings are going to be mutual. You will also going to benefit greatly from all that. So there will be literally no freaking reason for you to reject that well, it is a generous offer of an investment, but it is not a charity. So you shouldn't feel in debt to that organization or to that person that is investing in you. Now, other than that, you should know that there is a pretty important development which haven't been wrapped around, and in Venus in Gemini, you're gonna have the full capacity and chance to wrap it up and move on to the next thing in a way that the full completion of that current development will support you through the new venture that is going to show up afterwards. One last thing I would like to say about the investment here is that whether you or what you are developing happens to be everything that the party of investment have are wanting right now or are needing right now. It could be also both. Hello, Cinnamon Kiss. Welcome to the stream. Next one, that will be Taurus. Three of Swords, Death, Knight of Swords. It's he, actually. It's new to me, yeah. Well, not that new. I'm acquainted with that dog for a year now, so not that new for me, but it is new for you, guys and girls. And I'll tell you, I fell in love with that dog. It's such a nice soul. It's a pretty complicated read for the Taurus. And I don't know how to explain it. Yes, he does. He does have a name. So I guess I have to start from quite afar. There is a thing in your life that either you are begged or pushed to walk away from or to abandon. And it doesn't have to be a subject. It could be an opinion you have. It could be a habit you have as well. that you have been harped on, that you need to leave behind you, that you need to relinquish. And Venus in Gemini is going to make you come up to some decisions that are to preserve what you are begged or harped, or what you will, of relinquishing. So basically, what I'm trying to say here, it is that you are going to decide against this advice, let's call it that way, this advice. And this preservation, that decision of yours against those that are asking you to relinquish a thing, these people are going to become hostile towards you, and you are very likely to become a victim of a lot of insults, a lot of mental cruelty, and a lot of, I don't want to say humiliation, it's more like an attempt of planting in very negative thoughts in you, like thoughts that you are never going to be happy, like thoughts that you aren't good for anything, that you are standing for nothing, and so on and so forth, which you shouldn't give a second thought into them at all. I mean, you need to brush them off right away as they appear. That is from your mind, and just push forward with your things, because that decision to go against the better judgment of others, but not the better judgment of yours, is going to be one of the most, I would say, practical and intelligent decisions that you have made recently, which is not just only gonna maintain your happiness, but also is gonna make so many things working for you. Not to mention that for some reason is gonna bring second chances, is gonna give you second chances on certain aspects in your life. Okay, next, that will be Gemini. Four of Swords, the Moon, Four of Pentacles. Hello, Jasmine. Welcome to the stream. Oh, for Gemini, this season of Venus, or this transit of Venus, is going to make you unhappy of how things stands or are standing. Not everywhere though. In those fields of your life where you have had a bargain at, like, I don't know, a negotiation with a client and how it was set up, a contract you have signed and how it was worded, and so on and so forth. And in the next 25 days are going to be about renegotiating all these things. Renegotiating, for example, the salary with your boss, renegotiating the terms of engagement, renegotiating the terms of work or the terms of purchase and so on and so forth. And at least according to these cards, these renegotiations are going to be quite well made and quite successful for you, Gemini. But it is important to know that this is not going to be the final word either. And even if you do decide not to bother and just to, you know, keep up with the original bargain, that is also not going to have a too big of it's not going to make too big of a difference for your future. So basically for you, Venus in your star sign is quite optional, and it gives you the freedom to talk you better, or rather like to how can I put it into words, to make better deals than the deals you have struck by that point. But even if you don't, it's still, things are going to be okay. So the best way how I would have used that influence and that energy, if I was a Gemini, okay, is simply to try to ask for more everywhere I could. And if it is given and it doesn't give me too much trouble, then that's great. If not, I just leave it as it is. Oh, Jasmine, thank you for the 20. Mwah. Thank you, Jasmine. Let me put you into the list, and at the end of the stream, you're gonna have a personalized reading on how Venus is going to affect you personally. And one last thing for Gemini before I move to Cancer is that somewhat in that 25 days, you wouldn't have any concerns or any problems, additional problems, let's put it that way. And even those that you are facing right now are going to significantly abate. Next one, that will be Cancer. The Tower. 9 of Wands. 2 of Wands. It's good. It's really, really good. A very powerful manifestation of the Tower card. So Venus in Cancer for you is gonna trigger restart, starting something from the get-go, from the very, very beginning, starting it anew. But this time around, being able to keep some very good accomplishments alongside with it, allowing you to build it stronger, bigger, and way, way more successful, allowing yourself to, not allowing yourself, but kind of like securing for yourself much freedom about the extension and about the development of the enterprise. Just so you know, very specific case about these 3 cards, it is that you may suddenly realize that you do have a crush over a person, not just that you have seen for the first time couple of days ago, but someone that you had quite interactions with. You actually had a very good accomplishments together. You just haven't saw each other that way up until this point, but now right from with a single snap of your fingers, in just a single moment, you both see each other in a way more romantic way than usual, and you realize that you actually have crush into one another and that you do fit very well as well. This is a very, very powerful drive here, powerful push, if you will, formed by the Tower and the Nine of Wands, guys. So it will be such a shame if you don't entertain the idea to give it a go of that crush. Well, that's great, Cinnamon Kiss. So my point here is that just because you are going to have to start from the beginning, that actually counts for you, Cancer, as a blessing rather than a setback, or even some kind of a crisis or a turmoil. Okay, next, Leo. Well, that is like I said, it's a specific case of the cards. It won't happen to every single one of Cancer. So for her, the restart then. Yeah, and anyone who support the stream and the channel through either a super chat or a PayPal, you guys are gonna have a reading at the end of the stream, personalized one instead of general. That's guaranteed. No. Hmm. Well, what is there for her to lose? Cinnamon Kiss. The world for Leo. Followed by Eight of Pentacles. And the third one, that is going to be the Lovers. A good and a bad news. And I'm going to start with the bad news. Uh, it is that Venus in Cancer is going to make your life a bit more annoying than usual. Basically, there are going to be stuff which you wouldn't be exactly thrilled of taking part in or doing in general. That's the bad news. So you're going to feel pressure to do stuff you don't want to. However, the good news is that by doing those stuff, those requests, those tasks, or I would call them those chores, that will complete to its fullest of a very essential cycle in your life. Something grand, something major, something that you can't do without, and is going to make you ready to initiate a plans that you are making for the future. And after that is completed, then there is going to be a new perspective in your life. Like you are going to start thinking about, say, far bigger heights than the heights you are to accomplish in the next 25 days. Hello, Taco. Welcome to the stream. Christina, thank you for the $5. Thank you, Christina. Let me put you into the list. One second. All right. So going on next, That will be Virgo. Oh yeah, the deal is in effect by the end of the week, the upcoming week. So the deal is all the way up until 6th of July. For those of you guys who doesn't know, there is a sale going on right now on my website for the answer to a question reading. Anyone who purchases it, you can ask 2 questions for the price of 1. So if you decide to do so, you can go to my website and just order answer to 1 question and ask 2 instead. So for Virgo, the first card is going to be the Strength. Then is Page of Swords. And the third one, that is going to be Ten of Cups. So, as Venus enters in Gemini for you, you're going to find yourself very displeased for how far you are with your current undertakings. And that isn't to be said that they're going to be failure. It's just there is going to be that feeling within you that you simply are built for something better, bigger, for something more in general. And you're going to come up with pretty interesting and pretty unique target. For example, pretty interesting and pretty unique way of making money of a service that no one else think of up until this point, or thought of, I'm sorry, up until this point. Pretty brilliant solution, and so on and so forth. The issue though is going to be that nobody is going to believe you, nobody is going to take you seriously on it, and even more than that, you are likely to be chastised once you share that, let's call it that way, unique thought of yours. And so you're going to find yourself being alone, not having any support whatsoever if you do want to follow it. And at least according to these cards that I'm seeing, you will need no support. So basically what Venus for you is going to trigger is that nature, that human nature, which everyone does have. Okay, this isn't something specific for Leo. It's Cancer has it, Scorpio has it, Virgo has it. Oh, I'm sorry, Virgo. Leo has it. Aries has it. Every single person has it, and this is the ability of the human nature to always ask for more and find a reason to ask for more. So you will simply gonna ask more for yourself. And it does look like that as a result of it, you are going to bestow upon yourself a super long-term goal that you are going to follow undividedly and accomplish eventually in, I don't know how long, but it's gonna be a long time. However, every time you work on it and even think about it, you will be bursting with the passion and enthusiasm to push forward. So basically Venus for you is going to give you one more reason to live for. Next will be Libra. The Hermit, King of Cups, Death. Yeah, that is one more reason to live for. knowing that and seeing that the future holds at least one amazing thing. That is for Virgo. Now for Libra, there is going to be a proposal, a pretty important one. So that proposal is going to deliver something you deem important and essential for your life. Pretty unique proposal. Only you can take advantage of it. So you don't have to worry about any kind of competition whatsoever, but also you wouldn't be able to bring on a lot of people, if any people, into that proposal as well. So it will simultaneously gonna give you a lot of room to develop moving forward, but in the same time is gonna make you leave behind certain, I would say, certain people. Well, you're not gonna leave them behind, they are gonna leave you behind, because you will no longer going to have to spare any resources for them, because they are going to be completely devoured by that new proposal that it is coming your way. And this new proposal, basically its immediate effect, should you take it, will be to completely negate and relinquish all the aspects in your life which are holding you back, and they're giving you nothing of benefit, only sucking energy from you. Like, that could be monetary energy, it could be emotional energy, you know, it could be timely energy, like wasting your time for someone or about something that simply doesn't pay back in any way. And I do believe, by the look of those cards, it is that this proposal is going to be professional one, most likely a professional one. And the reason why you take it is, first, because you are the only one suited for the job, and secondly, you are deemed to be deserving of it. Okay, next, that will be Scorpio. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, Seven of Cups. Thank God I don't have a boss. Okay. Because Scorpio, Venus is gonna bring us trouble with the hierarchy. The one that is above us in terms of hierarchy, most likely our boss. So thank God I don't have a boss. But that could be one of you guys if you go for a personal reading here, because according to these cards, within Venus are gonna trigger in those that are above us, need to put a request toward us, or rather, like, make a, it's not a claim, oh my god, what is the word here, have a requirement that is almost unaccomplishable, for a lack of a better word here. It's something that even even the person that gives it to us and demands it on us, even they cannot complete it. That is because it goes way beyond or and above the known capabilities. Like, I had a boss that was, when I was back in the days an engineer, that was asking to do stuff that defies the laws of physics. It's just, if Newton heard about what was requested to be made, he would have turned into his grave. It's just, it was not possible. So we're gonna have to face an impossible demands, and how can I put it into words? Be forced, if you will, to make them. or to fulfill them, for lack of, again, better word. Uh, and all this is going to be because that person is going to find themselves quite over ambitious at that point, and because it's going to be fulfilled with or filled with enthusiasm, wouldn't be able to see their own mistake and that they are asking something that just can't be done. Doesn't matter who you are, how professional you are, doesn't matter how much you know or how capable you are, it cannot be done. So the best thing that we can, Scorpio, do is focus on our own personal stuff and our own personal agenda and being productive with it, instead of throwing, our resources into a bottomless abyss. Taco, thank you for the $22.22. Thank you, Taco. Jen, thank you for the 2 donations of a $8.88. Thank you, Jen. You do have 2 inquiries. So at the end of the stream, you, Taco and Jen, you're going to have personalized readings on your inquiries. A second. And anyone else who supports the stream and the channel through Super Chat, you're going to have personalized reading at the end of the stream, just like Taco, Jen, Jasmine, Yasmin, and whomever else I'm missing here, because I don't have list right now in front of me. Thank you guys and girls for your generosity. Now next, that will be Sagittarius. Oh, and Christina. Let's forget. The Chariot. Justice. The Hermit. Venus in Gemini is going to be one of the best transits. The way that is going to affect you. That is because under its influence, you will not going to waste anything for lost causes. Only for causes that are going to bring you a lot of benefits, a lot of essential and substantial gains for the way you want to live your life and for the way you want to move forward. And another thing is that under the influence of Venus in Gemini, uh, the enterprises which are going to bring you those rewards are going to seem very difficult. It's like they have every odd being stacked against you, and you will be able to accomplish triumph against all of those odds. And it does look like that at the end of this transit, when you look back, you will find yourself being very proud of how much you were able to accomplish and how much you were able to achieve. But probably the best thing here is that these accomplishments are not going to be influenced by anyone, meaning that they are going to be yours alone and no one can ruin them for you in any way whatsoever. So to top it all off, you will be shielded and you will have secured those gains for a very, very long time of yours. Next, that will be Capricorn. The Lovers, Temperance, the Moon, it's an agreement that you're going to come up to. That could be agreement with yourself. Something of the sort of from here on moving forward, I am going to devote some time for myself. You know, making a promise towards yourself, involving in your life things you haven't done up until this point, thinking that they are only going to work to your detriment, but you're really needing it, like taking a break here and there, you know, like addressing the hobbies you love. Cinnamon Kiss, thank you for the £20. Thank you, Cinnamon Kiss. Let me put you into the list with your inquiry. So back to Capricorn here. And you're going to come up to such an agreement with yourself. That is one thing. The agreement, however, is most likely to be in between you and someone that has a completely opposite opinion on something, or a completely opposite idea or a proposal. And throughout the next 25 days, you will yeah, well, the cards are going to show that, Cinnamon Kiss. You will little by little drag the situation towards a common ground that is going to work for everyone. It's going to work for you, and it's going to work for the other party as well. And you all are going to get from it simultaneously what you need and also what you want. It will involve some compromises here and there, okay, but ultimately those compromises, at least according to these cards, are gonna be worth it, and they're not gonna be a big deal for neither of you. You can definitely go forward and have your future not altered at all by any means. All right, next, that will be Aquarius. Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the third one is Eight of Pentacles. So Venus in Gemini for Aquarius is going to be the last chance, the period where you are going to have the last chance to work with someone or to go along with someone. It doesn't have to be physical work, you know, for example, to be with someone, to work with someone, to interact with someone, to go forward with someone that you have a very big unfound potential with. And if you don't make things work in between each other in the next 25 days, they are done for good. I mean, they're going to walk away from God. And that person is very important because they happen to be, I can't really say essential, but a very important link, very important piece of a plan you have for your future. You can definitely make things very, very easy for yourself going forward with that plan, having that person by your side. So it will be wise not to miss your last chance to make things work with them. And last but not least, that will be Pisces. Five of Cups, the Lovers, King of Swords. That's a complicated read. You know, these situations where people that are usually more knowledgeable than you are in a certain field, that are more experienced, that are more educated, for example, in a certain field, say medical field, say law, say finances and so on and so forth, are telling you that you are doing things wrong, are telling you that you have made the wrong choice. Well, Venus in Cancer is going to be the influence, or rather, like within this transit, it will happen so that they were those that were wrong. You, Pisces, you are right. You are right to quit your job. You are right to end your relationship, but you are right to take the job or start that relationship despite everyone else's better judgment. Okay. And although you may wish things to be different, everything to develop under a different circumstances, and you happen to be a bit, say, disappointed or had that sense of loss whenever you made that decision, in Venus in Gemini, you will grow to love that decision, and these disappointments, these losses are going to pay for themselves, and you will regain what you lost, or um, um, make up for that disappointment of yours. And so that is for the 12 star signs. And now the super chat is going to be conducted. So anyone who supported the stream and the channel financially, either through super chat or through PayPal, you guys and girls are going to have a reading, personalized reading right now to your inquiries. So first one, that will be Yasmin. But before I go for that, Yasmin, I'm going to go and have some water because my throat is sore. Okay. Right now, So those are your tarot cards. And Venus in Gemini is gonna put you in quite of a large working force. That may be 10, 20, 30 people that are working on the same thing, and you are gonna be one of them. And that working force actually is going to, for a change this time around, is gonna have a very strict, I would say, agenda, and it will be very, very well organized, leaving no room for any kind of error and no room for any kind of shenanigan, no room for anyone to does anything stupid and jeopardize the target, jeopardize the goal. You will thoroughly going to enjoy working with these people or working for those people, knowing every step of the way what is required from you, and say how much time you do have to accomplish a certain step along the plan. That should be also a very, very long-term enterprise, very long-term endeavor. And at least by according to these cards, the whole project, the whole thing, it is something you're hoping to be involved into. It is something that you are hoping to be a part of as a as nature. It doesn't I don't know how to put it into words. You may have a hope that one day you're going to work in a big team, and there it is, your hope fulfilled. I'm not talking about a specific project, but just the format of the whole enterprise. And this should pave a way for a quite of a big growth in a long-term development in your job. So this isn't about your love life, it is not about your friendships, it is about work, and it is about the job you have right now. So that is what Venus in Gemini is going to bring for you, and it is how it's going to manifest. Let's have a look at Kenny's transit now. How Venus in Gemini is going to affect Kenny. Those are cards. Ten of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. It's about money. I don't know what he's doing, but Venus in Gemini, throughout that duration, he's gonna earn more money than usual, or is going to acquire, I would call it that way, because it doesn't have to be through earnings. Is going to acquire a little bit more money than usual, but those extra funds that he's going to acquire are going to be through very risky means, and are going to these means are going to jeopardize a very solid structure of his. Like they could jeopardize his job, they could jeopardize his business. For example, if he does have business and he increases certain prices, or he takes on some kind of a service that under normal circumstances he isn't providing, he may be, for example, accused of malpractice or unfair practices and so on and so forth, that making him jeopardizing his business, right? So he needs to be very careful and very thorough in terms of how those extra funds, how those extra money are coming to his way, and minimize the jeopardy that this is going to cause on his securities, for a lack of better words here. Because once, if at all though, but if once these insecurities trigger, it's gonna be like a snowball, and there will be almost no way how to stop the detrimentation to where it's heading. Although it's not going to be complete, it may cause a significant damage to his reputation, and as well to his job, to his business. That was Kenny's reading, Taco. Now Jasmine, and after Jasmine, it's your reading. All right, Jasmine now. Those are the cards, Jasmine. I don't know what your living situation is, but at least according to these cards, Venus in Gemini is gonna make so that you're gonna find a home, you're gonna find a place, find a way to move, for example. In general, go forward with your housing agenda. This, however, is going to put troubles and is going to put stress and setbacks on other fronts. But by the look of those cards, the success that you can have with moving houses or purchasing houses, if that is your idea, of renovating your house, for example, if also that is your idea, it is just the occupation agenda, the place of living agenda, is gonna trumpet, and at least in your book is going to be worth it. Because once you resolve the matters with your housing agenda, at least according to these cards, any payment for it, any price for it would be worth it. That is at least how you are going to take it, and that is what is important. Doesn't matter whether it says that the price is going to be bigger than it should be. For as long as you accept it, and for as long as you deem it worthy, then it will be fine and okay with you. But just so you know, that's if you push to, I do apologize, if you do push to settle and resolve that matter at all cost in the next 25 days, you can definitely do so, but it's going to put a strain on other fields in your life, like your job, like your friendships, and so on and so forth. But you can definitely go for it. All right, next, Taco. Those are your cards, Taco. YouTube community guidelines does not allow me to tell you what they say. So I'm gonna send you an email probably tomorrow, because I'm gonna hug the bed right after the live stream. So let's check on the tarot cards. Those are the cards. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. You know what it is, and it's about trouble in that department, problems in that department, and the reason being is not optimal treatment, I would call it, by the look of the tarot cards. Okay, not optimal treatment. You haven't been given the right or the most effective measures, and that's why you are going to have to do a it's probably with you or a woman, but I do believe it is with you. And the situation, at least according to these cards, no, it's not the dog. It's probably with you. And the situation, at least at that point, it's completely it's completely reversible. Okay, but how can I put it into words? In order to get back on track, I would call it that way, you're gonna have to follow the prescription to the letter, literally to the letter. Other than that, Venus in Gemini for you are gonna give you the chance to make to wrap up some loose ends, or rather like to tie up some loose ends that you are having hanging around with enterprises or with people around you. But in order to do so, especially if it does involve other people around you, you will have to be accountable for them. What I mean is that you have to think first for their well-being and after that for yours. So in my mind, at least by the look of those cards, whenever it comes to tying up those loose ends, first they need to be satisfied with how things are going, and then you are falling on second place. Other than that, you wouldn't be able to go along with them, at least for the next 25 days. That doesn't mean that you wouldn't be able to make the turnaround afterwards. So ultimately, if the circumstances doesn't suit you well, you shouldn't feel obliged to go along with it. But just so you know what it's going to take to tie up those loose ends, like to finalize the negotiations, the deal, and so on and so forth, is that the other side needs to be fulfilled and satisfied first, and then whatever it's left, it is for you. All right, next, Cinnamon Kiss. How can I fix things with my family? Let's have a look. If that is even possible, and if it is, how can you do it? You're welcome, Taco. Those are your cards, Cinnamon Kiss. They can be fixed. Give me a minute here. So one thing you can do, it's nostalgia. Nostalgia, provoke that nostalgia in them. Make them remember the good times you had, and that it is not worth it this to be thrown out of the window just for whatever happened. That is one thing you can do. The other thing, it is not exactly ask for forgiveness, but like, and it is not even a second chance. It's more like a ask to start over with them. Whatever happened in between you two, or in between you and your family, as a negative outcome of an enterprise, ask to start again from the very beginning. And this time around, I do believe that you are gonna that you are gonna do better. They're gonna do better, and eventually things are gonna work in between you all. but the nostalgia is also a very complementary way how to make them even consider um, starting the enterprise or the interaction from the very beginning, and from there building up the relationship in between each other from, again, from the very beginning, making it far more stronger than before. So yeah, it's a tough procedure. Okay, it is a tough procedure. Yeah, for something negative, right? What about the positive stuff you had together, right? And is it worth one unpleasant thing happening to throw, like I said, to throw out of the window every positive aspect you went through or with each other? So, like I said, try to trigger nostalgia. All right, next, Christina, which asks for finances. So let's have a look, Christina. Those are the cards. Your finances are going to get better on because of couple of reasons. One of the reason is because you are going to start leading more and more simple life, meaning that you are going to have the need to spend less in the next 25 days. The other reason is because of accomplishments. You are going to make some good accomplishments in the next 25 days, which are going to provide slow but steady increase in finances. So that is my forecast, personal forecast for you. You're gonna have a slow and steady increase for the capital you have in term of money. Okay, next, Jen. Your first inquiry. Okay. You're welcome, One Krilo. All right, those are the cards in your first inquiry. What kind of a job? It's the job is to bring rationality into the world. Okay, rationality into the world, making people, that means people around you, more focus on what can really happen with merit rather than, you know, daydreaming and flying into the cloud nine and hoping for stuff that can never come to bear, and therefore transforming their lives into a meaningful ones. The second inquiry of yours, what are my skills and my talents? That's a tough one to answer, because you are supposed to find them on your own. That's one of the purposes for life, or purposes of life. But I'm gonna try my best here, Jen. Those are your cards. Your biggest talent, which I don't think it works in your favor, is righteousness, fairness, if you will. Okay? Not taking more than you think you deserve, and what you think you deserve, and it's in one situation or another, is actually an accurate measurement. So even if you can get more, you're not taking advantage of the ignorance and the ineptitude of those around you. So that's a big virtue. That's a big ideal that you are upholding here. And the other thing, a talent, is to make a lot with less. Meaning that you are capable to manifest 110% of what you have. So you are going above and beyond for accomplishing agenda that is standing in front of you. So with those resources, no one else can get as far as you can. These are your biggest virtues this at that given moment, and I hope you can use them to the best of your advantage and to the best of your abilities. All right, so with that said, guys, this is gonna do it for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and also thank you so much for your generosity. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Just to remind you that there is a sale going on right now. By purchasing video answer to one question, you can ask 2 questions instead, and the sale is in effect up until the end of 6th of July. So yeah, with that said, hopefully we're going to see each other next time, which is going to be Sunday. And Sunday we have a full moon in Capricorn. Is going to be the reading for, I believe. Just let me check really quick. Actually, no. Not Sunday, but Thursday, I'm sorry. Actually, no. Thursday I could do my God, we do have quite of a big gap. I could do Neptune retrograde. yeah, Neptune retrograde. Then on Sunday, 6th of July, could be Uranus in Gemini. And then at 10th, which is Thursday, exactly at the spot, full moon in Capricorn. So yeah, I think that next time we're gonna have Neptune retrograde as a topic of our live stream. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna see each other then, and until then, bye.